Welcome to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam reading. We'll continue Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4. This is Chapter 4, where Sati quits her body, and text 14. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalaam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. This is 4:14. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yadvyaksharam nama gireritam nrinam Sakrit prasangat aghamashu hanti tat Pavitra kirtim tamalanghya shasanam Bhavanaho dveshti shivam shivetara. One more time. Yadvyaksharam nama gireritam nrinam Sakrit prasangat aghamashu hanti tat Pavitra kirtim tamalanghya shasanam Bhavanaho dveshti shivam shivetara. Trying to minimize this. No. Okay, thank you. Okay. Word to word meanings. Yet, which, dvi aksharam, consisting of two letters, nama, named, gira iritam, merely being pronounced by the tongue, drinam, persons, sakrit, once, prasangat, from the heart, agham, sinful activities, ashu, immediately, hanti, destroys, tat, that, pavitra kirtim, whose fame is pure, tam, him, alanghya shasanam, whose order is never neglected, bhavan, you, aho, oh, dveshti, envy, shivam, Lord Shiva, Shiva Itara, who are inauspicious. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sati continued, My dear father, you are committing the great offense by envying Lord Shiva, whose very name, consisting of two syllables, Shi and Va, purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure, and no one but you envies him. Purport. Since Lord Shiva is the greatest soul among the living entities within this material world, his name is Shiva, is very auspicious for persons who identify the body with the soul. If such persons take shelter of Lord Shiva, gradually they will understand that they are not the material body, but our spirit soul. Shiva means Mangala or auspicious. Within the body, the soul is auspicious. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. This realization is auspicious. As long as one does not realize his identity as the soul, whatever he does is inauspicious. Wow. As long as one does not realize his identity as a soul, whatever he does is inauspicious. Prabhupada is strong here. Shiva means auspicious, and devotees of Lord Shiva gradually come to the platform of spiritual identification. But that is not all. Auspicious life begins from the point of spiritual identification. But there are still more duties. One has to understand one's relationship with the Supreme Soul. If one is actually a devotee of Lord Shiva, he comes to the platform of spiritual realization. But if he is not intelligent enough, then he stops at that point. Only realizing that he is spirit soul, Aham Brahmasmi. If he is intelligent enough, however, he should continue to act in the way of Lord Shiva, for Lord Shiva is always absorbed in the thought of Vasudeva. As previously explained, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Lord Shiva is always in meditation on the lotus feet of Vasudeva, Sri Krishna. Thus, the auspicious position of Lord Shiva is realized if one takes to the worship of Vishnu, because Lord Shiva says in the Shiva Purana that the topmost worship is worship of Lord Vishnu. Lord Shiva is worshipped because he is the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu. One should not, however, make the mistake of considering Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu to be on the same level. That is also an atheistic idea. It is also enjoined in the Vaishnaviya Purana that Vishnu or Narayana is the exalted Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no one should be compared to him as equal, even Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, not to speak of other demigods. Very nice purport. Yeah, we'll read the translation once again. Sati continued. So she is talking to her father. She realized how Daksha was ignoring her. In essence, he was showing his envy and wanting to avoid, not only avoid, actually, avoid and neglect is like on a lighter side. Okay, they are there, I'm here, I'm just gonna continue my duties as if they don't exist. But envy actually goes much deeper. We want to make sure we somehow, make them look down, try to bring them and really want to show I'm better than them. And that's what he was trying to do. Like, even though externally he was just ignoring Sati, internally he was brewing with this envy towards Lord Shiva. So Mother Parvati, she could sense that envy. And so she's continuing to speak. She has already told how he is so materialistic people, because only apparently materialistic people have envy. So we can all relate to that, being materialistic in this, identifying with the material body. But here in this verse, she is actually glorifying Lord Shiva. In one sense, I'm seeing this verse, it's kind of helping Daksha if he is intelligent enough and want to hear Mother Sati and somehow curtail his envy and change his mode. He has an opportunity, because she is not just saying you're envious, I don't want to do anything with you. She actually goes on to speak and try to, kind of change his heart. If at this point of time he would have realized and he said, "Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't understand," then she doesn't have to take the drastic step of ending her life. Very, very sad and very really intense. Being a father, seeing your daughter take such kind of a step is like really heartbreaking. So he could have stopped in this discussion if he could have said something. She's telling, "My dear father, you're committing the greatest offense by envying Lord Shiva, whose very name, consisting of two syllables, Shi and Va, purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure, and no one but you envies him. For someone who has that kind of a pure heart, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 5th chapter, such person, a pure devotee who has such pure heart, they love everyone and everyone loves him. Like we have this example of Sanatana Goswami, we hear it's just so endearing. He goes from one village to the other village around Vrindavan, all the Vrindavan forest, and everyone is just so waiting for his arrival, like such sweet description of his relationship with the Brajavasis, because he doesn't have envy. He has so much compassion and love for others that naturally everybody wants to love them. So that's the kind of a thing Mother Parvati is saying about Shiva here. He has such pure heart and such intense absorption and devotion for the Lord that everyone actually loves him. No one envies him. And his name, just two syllables, many places we actually hear this. Shiva means very auspicious. It brings auspiciousness in one's life and purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. That's kind of interesting here. I'm thinking he actually told to Parvati, "Please do not go." And she actually came. So we don't know if it is an order or just a suggestion. So uh, she argued back and forth, of course, and then she came. Or maybe it's her realization that I have neglected his order. So now I have to face this, circumstances. Prabhupada writes really in a nice purport where he's actually glorifying Lord Shiva. He is the greatest soul among the living entities in this material world. It's very auspicious for persons who identify the body with the soul, which is almost every one of us in this material world. That is how we are living, as if we are the body. If such persons take shelter of Shiva, Lord Shiva, gradually they will understand that they are not the material body, but our spirit soul. So, this is something I have heard multiple times. Who are ardent worshippers of Lord Shiva? There are few examples actually in our devotee community here who were very like sincere devotees, not just for the sake of, I want this blessing or I want that benediction. So I'll just go whenever I need something. I want to pass this exam. I want that job. I want this wife, husband. So I'll go and pray whenever I need something. Not that kind of a devotee, but very nicely, sincerely, in a regulated manner, who worships Lord Shiva. There are some devotees who used to do Abhishek to Shivalinga every single day. Every morning, they would start their day with that. And when one worships in that way, Lord Shiva, he actually shows the way for the highest goal of human life, to worship the highest form, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So, in that sense, it's actually very, very beneficial for someone even though they're not able to approach Lord Krishna directly, even if they're able to approach Lord Shiva, but with a right mindset. It's not to gain something, but it's really to worship as a means, because I understand I am in this material body and I need to worship somebody, because I need to I need this help to cross over this material ocean of this suffering. When one understands that, then the path actually becomes very nice. Whether we approach the demigods or Krishna, they actually guide one. But the problem most of the times, Prabhupada says demigod worship is not beneficial, and for less intelligent people, most of the times we go with some kind of a material desires to demigods. So, like vending machines, they just give that, whatever we are asking, and be done with it. So that's where the problem lies. It's in our heart, it's not really with them. So, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. This realization is auspicious. I was really struck with this sentence. As long as one does not realize his identity as a soul, whatever he does is inauspicious. This is a strong statement. We think, oh, it's temporary, it's not giving me a permanent benefit. But how is it going to be inauspicious? Because, sometimes it may be auspicious. We may be doing nice things, even, selfless acts, and like constructing hospitals or schools or old age homes, let us say. But we don't understand that we are not really doing from a place of understanding I'm the spirit soul. We are still as a body. I want to do this. I want people to, recognize me and glorify me as that I'm doing great work or whatever. So we may question, how is it inauspicious? The way I'm understanding Prabhupada's statement is it's inauspicious because it's derailing us from the real purpose of human life. When we get carried away by these temporary activities for the sake of fame and glorification and getting some wealth or whatever, some kind of a material things, which would end with this body, they're actually taking our time away from the real pursuit, from the spiritual journey to understand who my real self is. And in order to, and if we invest our time in that pursuit versus this, there's going to be a huge difference at the end of life. So, in that way, it's actually inauspicious for a real self, the spirit soul. Shiva means auspicious, and the devotees of Lord Shiva gradually come to the platform of spiritual identification. So, this kind of realization is given by Lord Shiva very tangibly. I've heard stories personally how devotees get this realization. And, I used to think, oh, won't we feel guilty that I have been worshipping Lord Shiva now that I understand somehow that Lord Krishna's worship is the highest? I'm just stopping Lord Shiva and then, investing my time and energy and consciousness in worshipping and reading scriptures of and everything for Lord Krishna. So, am I doing some offense to Lord Shiva? And is it going to cause some reactions or, being guilty that I'm not worshipping Lord Shiva anymore? But it's just so beautiful to hear that journey. I have heard that's not the case, but it still was kind of theoretical for me. How does it work? When I heard these personal stories of the devotees, how their hearts were uh, just so satisfied with that tangible realization from Lord Shiva that he is actually happy if one takes up to that higher form of worship, as Prabhupada is quoting here. Lord Shiva says in the Shiva Purana that the topmost worship is worship of Lord Vishnu. So in their hearts, they're full of gratitude to Lord Shiva for actually guiding them to the lotus feet of Krishna. It's not in the sense, okay, I'm done with you. I have been worshipping you till now because I needed this path, and now that I'm on this path, I'm done with you. That's not the mood. That devotee's mood was so much gratitude and still have so much of respect and reverence for Lord Shiva. So, in that sense, we are not like, giving up Lord Shiva's shelter or committing some offense, but it's actually with his blessings. This devotee approaches Lord Krishna. So it's actually very, very beautiful and auspicious. And this point is very important, as Prabhupada is quoting. When one comes to that spiritual uh, identification platform by Lord Shiva's mercy, okay, I'm not this body. I just don't want to, continue living as if I'm just this body and do the activities, whatever pertaining to the body and everything related to the body. Okay, I understand I'm not the body. So, what is that I have to do based on that? So, that's the higher intelligence Prabhupada is talking about. But there are still more duties. One has to understand one's relationship with the Supreme Soul. If one is actually a devotee of Lord Shiva, he comes to the platform of spiritual realization. But if he's not intelligent enough, he just stops at that point, only realizing that he is a spirit soul. Um, Last week, right, when we had Ram Navami, we were having some discussion. I mean, not me, some other colleagues at work. They were discussing this. A couple of them are from India in their 60s, 70s, and another one American. So he also knows a little bit of Rama and Mahabharata. So he was asking, so Lord Rama, is he equal to Krishna or less than Krishna? Something he was asking. And then this other colleague is saying, oh, all these names are just created just for, lower intelligent people to just hold on to something. But actually, if you see, we are all Brahman. I am Brahman, you are Brahman, and God is Brahman. And there is no name for him. Some call him Lord Shiva, some call him Krishna, Rama, and everything. All these festivals are there just so, people come out of their thing and just celebrate. I was like, oh my Krishna. And I mean, they were going to Advaita and deeper and deeper. At one point, my blood was boiling. It was like, I wanted to go and interrupt. But then I was like, just okay, okay, let's let them continue. I was just praying to Prabhupada. Next day I took some prasadam and I was just praying to Prabhupada. Somehow I don't want to say anything to, refute their arguments because that's the last thing we want to do when someone has this strong kind of inclination to believe in this Advaita philosophy. They think they're believing, they're not really doing anything. So that's the other thing, right? How are they living their life? I mean, I'm not trying to point to them. They're leading very good life, moral, and like, following all the basic principles. That's good. But when we really understand I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul, uh, that has to result in the way we are living. That has to reflect in the way we conduct ourselves to deal with other people and to deal with circumstances. It needs to reflect, but that somehow is missing. So that is the thing. Even as devotees, I mean, we are reading the scriptures and hearing and practicing and chanting. Still, I can speak for myself. I'm not really acting at the level of really understanding that I'm the spirit soul, especially talking to the kids or like whatever, wife, husband. There is some kind of, attachment and controllership based on the body that I am the mother or I'm the wife, I'm the husband. I want to, them to follow and do this thing, that thing, because as a relationship, I feel I have this thing. But if we really understand from the spirit soul point of view, we understand, yes, as a duty, being in this body, being in this relationship, we do our duty, but we don't want to impose upon anybody else our thought process or our controllership. So that is something we have to, I was thinking when I was reading this line, really cultivate deeper to reflect. Uh, we have that theoretical understanding, but from that theoretical understanding, to really bring that to the level of how we are living our life, that needs to really show. And even for these colleagues or whoever, I'm thinking, when we are living that kind of a life, that can serve as an example. Like, what is that you practice? Like, how are you able to, like, in the meetings, everybody is going through whatever, but when they're able to see that one is calm and composed, of course, on a material level, somebody can have that. But from a spiritual perspective, acting from this spirit soul platform, if one has that kind of uh, uh, qualities, spiritual qualities, which don't deter by whether things are working well or not working well, then they would be like asking, like, what is it that, like, you practice? How are you able to maintain yourself like this? That can really be a nice example to share Krishna consciousness, particularly at work. Yeah, and Prabhupada is quoting Lord Shiva is always absorbed in the thought of Vasudeva. So he actually uh, likes and appreciates when one takes to that position of worship of Vishnu. And the last point Prabhupada is making, one should not, however, make the mistake of considering Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu to be on the same level. That is also an atheistic idea. This is one of the offenses to the holy name. When we understand that Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Lord Narayana, Vishnu's name is the topmost, and chant with that kind of a regard. It's not looking down upon the name of Lord Shiva, because this whole purport and Mother Parvati are glorifying Lord Shiva's name. How just by chanting that name, one uh, becomes auspicious, so much auspiciousness comes and one gets purified. So it's not minimizing, but just understanding their respective levels. Lord Vishnu's name is the topmost because he is the supreme, from whom actually Lord Shiva comes. It is also enjoined in the Vaishnaviya Purana that Vishnu or Narayana is the exalted Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no one should be compared to him as equal, even Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, not to speak of other demigods. So, just to understand who is the Supreme and accordingly worship them. So, in summary, Mother Sati is talking to she's actually very kind to her father Daksha here, gently tapping, hey, by the way, you are heading to a ditch. You're having envy towards such a great devotee as Lord Shiva, and you're committing the offense. And if one is intelligent in that time, it's actually a nice thing to have somebody to tap on our shoulder if you're being disrespectful or committing an offense. We may not pay attention at that time. If we have some genuine well-wishers who very gently, not in a questioning or condemning way, but if they're gently telling us, hey, watch out your words or watch your actions, you're stepping on somebody else, then we can be like, oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize it's an unintentional. And we could go and tell sorry to that person whom were being disrespectful, or they perceived us, even if our action and speech is not like that. in that same way, Daksha could have actually rectified his actions and avoided much more severe consequence for himself and Mother Parvati and the whole sacrifice. But unfortunately, his envy was so deep that he didn't pay any attention to Mother Sati's uh, helping words here. And Lord Shiva's name and how he is such a great devotee of the Lord that just his name purifies everybody and gives so much auspiciousness. And if one approaches him very sincerely, Lord Shiva actually guides them to the highest form of worship, to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you so much. Stop here and see if any of you have any reflections, questions, comments. Thank you for joining. And corrections. It's actually Vrindavan Prabhu's turn today, but he's at the temple doing DT Seva. So I just jumped in. I didn't even know which verse, so no preparation prior. But thanks to Srila Prabhupada's purport, we are able to discuss something. Please share your reflections or any corrections. Thank you. Panduranga Gopal Prabhu, I don't know, when did you join? I was actually thinking of you when I was reading this verse, how Lord Shiva actually guides a very sincere devotee who is genuinely approaching him, not with some material motivations, but sincerely approaching him, how he can guide such devotees to the lotus feet of Krishna. You want to share something from your personal reflections?
Krishna Mataji just joined.
Okay.
I don't know why you thought about me, but maybe you should share why you thought about me.
Yeah. I was just thinking of having that connection with Lord Shiva and still be able to approach Krishna. Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share anything?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Krishna Mataji, please
We
accept.
are also in the same category. Even my father worships Antaralaya also for Shiva. He goes every day and worships Shiva, and all our names are also connected with Shiva's family, like that. And yeah. So my brother is Val Subramanya, like that. My father himself is Sadasiva, and I don't know, my husband is also Sambhamurti. It shows all the names also. So yeah, we are also devotees of Shiva and also Parvati, mainly Lalita Sahasranama we do every Paurnami also. So these steps are the final steps before we reach Lord Krishna. That's what they say. Yeah, they guide towards the ultimate fact. That is in the Vishnu Sahasranama also it comes, because it is Vishnu is all pervading. That's what we say. Wherever, whatever connection, whatever thread we connect to, it finally reaches that point, because every thread is connected to the final source, right?
Yeah.
So that's the path, and we have to be very what you call loving towards the God, not like a devotee, not like as you said, not for the like material desires. The devotion comes when it comes with love, right? So then it connects the right way. Yeah. Whoever God, whatever name we give, as your colleagues are saying, Hanuman or Shiva or Durga or anything, all these threads will connect finally to Krishna. Maybe that's how I landed finally in ISKCON also.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. It just was very, very nicely explained and, reassuring of many things. Um, so I grew up, of course, with the belief that, Lord Vishnu is the, Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we also always, not for any material gains or anything, but we worshipped in the sense like, I know I used to go to Shiva temple every Monday, just because it was right by the house, even though we had Radha Krishna in our own house.
Wow.
Then Lord Hanuman, I mean, not Lord, but Hanumanji was my favorite, too. So when I joined Krishna consciousness, that was the little struggle always, because now after hearing and we hear so much and then total understanding is there. But in the beginning, by few devotees I was told not to, you know you cannot do anything else, you just need to, do this. And so it was like little rough in the beginning, to be very honest, like,
Yeah.
because my understanding from day one from my, mom was a very pure Krishna devotee. And so but understanding was there that this is, because like Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava. And
Mhm.
my was always thinking that if we can say Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, he's a devotee.
Yeah.
We can say, all Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Why can't we say Lord Shiva ki jai?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the struggle in my beginning days. So, and then we always had the altar, like from day one. When I came into this country, my mother-in-law and father-in-law were already living, so it was, I came to their house, that not that they, so they already had the altar set up with all the, pictures and this and that. So
Yeah.
my Prabhu will not allow me to remove anything till today, till today. So
Yeah.
I once Maharaj came to my house, and I'm being very honest, I was so hesitant to invite devotees to my house, because what if they come and see my altar? What if
Yeah.
this? Because you are not that strong to, and say anything. And so I showed Maharaj, I said, Maharaj told me only one thing, and this is many, many years ago. As long as you understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As long as you have the understanding, and like you mentioned in the class today, you're not praying to this Devi and Devata for, material gains or anything. You
Yeah.
ask if you have to ask. And I had asked Maharaj this question too. Maharaj, I always, and this is also many years ago, Maharaj, I always pray to Krishna for my kids. Is that because, heard many classes, you should not ask. And she said, no, that's okay. Every mother does that. So, so things like that. I mean, it's just very good to hear all this pastime. And then, I mean, I do respect Lord Shiva. He's the, topmost Vaishnava. So that's all. I wanted to just share my things with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah.
Yes.
That's one thing. Even I have a little bit of a thing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, at least in my, understanding and little maturity now,
Mm-hmm.
I want to extend in a little more gentle way. If someone still has the attachment, for me also it's similar. That's it. You have to remove this, that, everything. And my heart was like just so hard. It was
Yeah.
so hard
Yeah.
because for like 20-25 years you have grown up. Like, I
Yeah.
used to do like almost the whole Kartik month fast. We used to have Shiva temple right next to the college. So I
Yeah.
used to go every afternoon. I used to go to the temple and participate in everything. But of course, Krishna and Bhagavad Gita was there from the childhood.
Yeah.
But that attachment is also there. Again, not so much of asking, okay, I want this, I want that, but just I wanted to, do because it's for God in that sense. So it was hard. So one thing, as you were sharing, I'm thinking this idea for me reinforcing. We share this idea, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and why Prabhupada, in many places, he does not encourage demigod worship. And when we share that message based on where they are and how much they are attached, this is a very nice example you're saying. Even to this day, it does not matter whether they have in the altar or not. Like we have our, whole Guru Parampara.
Yes.
So, but our mode is really, please bless me with the devotion that you have for the Lord, at least 1% of, your devotion. That's our mode when we are approaching Bhaktivinoda Thakur or like whoever in our Acharya Parampara.
Mhm.
So, in the similar way, for these demigods, you have such connection to the Lord. You have the access to really, guide me towards that. Please help me uh, become more sincere and come out of my attachments or whatever, these material things that I'm going through. When that is there,
Yeah.
even after years and decades, still having them in that mode, it's perfect because Lord Chaitanya was also visiting all these temples and, ecstatically dancing,
Yeah.
celebrating their devotion to the Lord. Uh,
Yeah.
but only one caution is in the beginning, we may not have that kind of, depth of understanding and faith. So maybe it's a little better to be cautious, but at the same time, gently, encouraging others not to just stop. Otherwise, you're not a devotee or something. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Like,
no, that like I said, that understanding was always there. Of course, with the age, everything, you mature and you
yes.
understand it better. So we
Yeah.
were always told that, of course.
Mm,
And
mm.
but even now, the mood is that every day I pay respects to, Lord Shiva. Why? Because you are the more, again, like I said, you ask for bhakti also
Yeah.
from Lord Shiva. Even if I can get a fractional of um, devotion that he has, I will be happy. So
Yeah, yeah, why not? We need all everybody's blessing.
blessings.
So
That's
many
so.
blessings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, Mataji. So thank you for your
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So
No,
ISKCON Nipa will unmuting. I don't know. It's Ganganaran Prabhu or from the temple.
It's me, Mataji. Actually, I wanted to say Shiva is also in the form of a guru, in the form of Dakshinamurti, right? So he
Yeah.
shows the way when he is sitting in the like, Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye, we say. So the guru always leads the right path, so we can worship him as a guru mainly, so
Mm,
he can show the path. So,
yes. Thank you.
um,
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Wonderful conversations here. I was like you, I think I was also really struck by that sentence from Srila Prabhupada in his purport. As long as one does not understand himself as a spirit soul, whatever he does is inauspicious.
I know.
And I was thinking that if I don't have a right conception of myself, if that Sambandha Gyan is not clear, or even understanding who I am is not very clear, then no matter what I do will be tinged with either false ego or
Mm,
with pride or with you know and I was thinking about Bhagavad Gita too. Arjuna is asking Krishna that he's completely bewildered and I can't fight, and Madhusudana, how what can I do? Help me, tell me what I should do.
mm,
And Krishna doesn't tell him what to do, but Krishna gives this whole Bhagavad Gita class, chapter 2, about you're not this body, you're a spirit soul, and the nature of the spirit soul, the nature of the body, etc., etc. And so, you know, actions are important because they communicate intent.
mm,
or actually realize the intent. But having the right conception is also so very important, as is demonstrated by how Krishna is educating um, Arjuna. And of course, here Srila Prabhupada is also sharing the same, that of course Prabhupada is being super direct and very condensed in that just one single sentence. But yeah, I was wondering, that's a very heavy
Strong.
statement.
Yeah, very heavy and very bold. And it's just in the fourth canto. It's not like, when somebody already gone through many, many cantos. Yeah.
Correct. So
That's
anyway,
something I think that's the beauty of Prabhupada, something I really appreciate. Even though at that point we get shaken, I really appreciate him not watering down the message. And it could be his, the inspiration from the Lord. It's at sometimes I think we need that kind of a shaking of the whole thing. Anyway, yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing.
Hare
And
Krishna.
thank you for giving the opportunity. Okay, it's 8:20. If no one else have anything, thank you so much for joining. And you all have a very wonderful